George Kermanidis writes to me and he says, "Hey, Paul, first off, Happy New Year." Why, thank you, sir. And I hope you have good health and happiness to you and your family. Thank you. And same to you. Do you know how close we are to a new Milankovitch cycle? A. And B, if we are close to a new one, in your opinion, how can we survive it with our current technology? We're trying hard to reverse the damage we've already done in the last decades to our planet from global warming and carbon, but from what I've heard from you, the first time ever, our planet sooner or later will automatically restart. Well, yeah, so let me explain a little bit. The Milankovitch cycle is a event that happens about every 120, 30,000 years or so. And the Earth is not in a perfect orbit. So I don't remember, there's three ways that it moves. It tilts, it changes its angle towards the sun, and that provides more or less energy from the sun over a long period of time. And if it gets less energy, it gets colder, we get glaciers covering the Earth, and when the Milankovitch cycle moves around every 100,000 years and we point the Earth more at the sun, it gets more energy, everything kind of melts, and we have what we have today during this period, which is called the Holocene. The last one we had was the Eemian, which is about what our book is all about, the Aurora Project. Okay, so that's what the Milankovitch cycle is. Best I can tell right now, we're kind of in the middle of the Holocene, which is the warming period. So that would mean, since each warming period is about 22,000 or so years long, we're about halfway. So George, I don't think you're going to have to worry. The glaciers would be expected to really start appearing here about 11,000 years into the future. So this is 2022. Just a guess, you and me won't be around 11,000 years from now, so I wouldn't worry about it. But, you know, even though 11,000 years sounds like a really long time, and as a human being that hopes to make it to 90 something, right? If you're lucky, you make it into your 90s. If you're average, you make it into your 80s. That seems like a forever thing. And talking in scales of 100,000 years, of 1,000,000 years, it's kind of like when the government says, yeah, we're going to just raise the federal deficit by $1 trillion. How many of us can put our arms around the idea of how much $1 trillion is? Really? What's $1 trillion? Well, it's 1,000 billion, which is 1,000 million billion. I mean, holy moly. I just think it is pretty much impossible for us to wrap our heads around anything more than 100, 80. You know, just think of yourself in a crowd and you look around, if there's more than 20 or 30 people, it could just as well be 100 or 1,000, right? We struggle with wrapping our heads around too many numbers, and we can't make sense of it, which is why, thankfully, we have scientists and people that can kind of simplify it and make it a little bit easier for us to understand. But no worries, sir. You got another 11,000 or so years before the glaciers come once again. All right. Hey, if you have a question for me, go to eemians.com, EEMIANS.com, and click on the appropriate little button and ask your question, or request a free copy when my new book, The Aurora Project, comes out. Because if you like a thriller, if you like a good treasure hunt mystery story with bad guys and all that, this is the book for you. Guaranteed good entertainment. And it's got some pretty novel ideas in it and something that'll make you think. But at the end of the day, I think it'll put a smile on your face because it's just a good read. So if you want a free copy, go to eemians.com, EEMIANS.com, and We'll get you hooked up. Okay. Thanks.